For 2,000 years, the story of Pontius Pilate has been defined by a single gesture. The Bible portrays a reluctant Roman governor who washed his hands of an execution, seemingly bullied into submission by a local crowd. However, first-century historians describe a very different figure, a merciless military commander who ruled the province of Judea through fear and violence. This limestone block, the Pilate Stone, provides the physical proof of his rank. As prefect of Judea, he held absolute military and civil authority, answering directly to the emperor in Rome. Pilate governed from the provincial capital of Caesarea. This seaside fortress allowed him to project Roman dominance over the local population, backed by a formidable garrison of elite auxiliary troops. We are left with a massive historical contradiction. A documented tyrant who ruled by the sword would have no reason to cave to a civilian mob unless he was hiding a dangerous political secret shortly after taking office. Pilate launched a calculated assault on local religious law under the cover of night. His soldiers marched into Jerusalem carrying Roman standards bearing the bust of the emperor, a direct act of desecration in the eyes of the Jewish people. Thousands of citizens responded with a massive non-violent protest. They traveled 40 miles to Pilate's palace in Caesarea and lay prostrate on the ground for 5 days, refusing to leave. Pilate eventually lured the protesters into a stadium and surrounded them with 3 rings of heavily armed legionaries. He threatened to cut them down where they stood, relenting only. Only after the crowd bared their necks and dared him to strike, his provocations continued with the construction of the aqueduct. To fund the project, Pilate seized sacred money directly from the temple treasury, sparking fresh outrage across the city. When the people gathered to protest the theft, Pilate ordered his soldiers to disguise themselves as Jewish. Civilians concealing heavy wooden clubs beneath their local clothing. At his signal, the undercover soldiers turned on the crowd. They bludgeoned the unarmed protesters, resulting in massive casualties across Jerusalem. These events show a man who baited and slaughtered his subjects for sport. His sudden hesitation at the trial of Jesus was not an act of conscience, but a reaction to a deadly shift in the Roman power structure. The true source of the tension sat 1,400 miles away on the island of Capri. By 31 AD, the Emperor Tiberius had retreated into total isolation, leaving the day-to-day governance of the empire to his deputies. The most powerful of these men was Lucius Aelius Sejanus, the Praetorian Prefect. Sejanus acted as the de facto ruler of Rome and served as Pontius Pilate's direct political patron. Sejanus was famously anti-Semitic. He specifically appointed Pilate to the Judean prefecture to act as his aggressive agent, enforcing hostile policies against the Jewish population, but on October 18, 31 AD, the political landscape shattered. Tiberius discovered that Sejanus was plotting a coup to seize the throne. Sejanus was executed for treason that same day. His death triggered a massive bloody purge of his allies and appointees across the Roman Empire. Overnight, Pilate transformed from the untouchable protege of the most powerful man in Rome to a suspicious associate of a dead traitor. During the investigation into Sejanus, Tiberius realized that many of the treason charges brought against the Jews had been fabricated by Sejanus to justify his own cruelty. Tiberius responded by issuing an empire-wide edict. He ordered his governors to cease all mistreatment of Jewish populations and to respect their established customs. This edict stripped Pilate of his political cover. His mandate for aggression was gone, exposing him to an emperor executing anyone linked to Sejanus. Pilate was trapped. If even one more riot broke out, Tiberius would have him executed. By 33 AD, Pilate became a paranoid administrator whose survival depended on keeping absolute peace. The tyrant had become a prisoner of his own past. In 33 AD, Pontius Pilate walked into a political hostage situation. The trial of Jesus was not a simple legal inquiry, it was a trap designed to exploit the governor's vulnerability. Pilate privately concluded that Jesus was innocent, but he recognized the gathering crowd as the exact type of riot that would trigger his own execution by the emperor. Sensing this fear, the local leadership deployed their ultimate weapon. They shouted, "If you release this man, you are no friend of Caesar." Amicus Caesaris was a formal political title of imperial favor. Losing this rank meant complete social ostracism, the loss of all property and a likely death sentence for treason.